What if Mace Windu lived and hunted Vader across the galaxy? Let's explore the depths of it in the video. Lightning tears through Mace Windu's body as he plummets from Palpatine's office. The electricity courses through every nerve, setting his muscles on fire. His right arm is gone, severed cleanly by Palpatine's blade, before the Sith lightning sent him through the shattered window. His scream is lost in the howling wind as Coruscant's endless cityscape rushes up to meet him. The city levels blur past, each one a stripe of lights and steel. Mace's Jedi training kicks in through the agony. He reaches for the Force, wrapping it around himself like a cushion. But his concentration is shattered. His connection to the Force disrupted by the Sith, lightning still crackling through his body. Most would die from this fall. Most would surrender to the inevitable. But Mace Windu is not most people. He's survived battles that would have killed lesser warriors. He's faced Sith Lords and lived. He will not die like this. His body crashes through a landing platform 300 levels down, transparent steel shattering into 1,000 glittering fragments. The impact breaks ribs, cracks bones. He tumbles through the air again, barely conscious. His body hits maintenance scaffolding, the durasteel framework bending under the impact. Each collision tears skin, breaks more bones. He caroms off a ventilation tower, the metal leaving a deep gash across his back. Then he hits a garbage hauler, making its rounds in the industrial sector. The impact drives the air from his lungs, and Mace sinks into a pile of refuse and debris. The hauler's automated systems register the added weight, but classify it as acceptable cargo. The vehicle continues its route, descending into the deeper levels of Coruscant, where the sun never shines. Darkness takes him. For how long? Mace doesn't know. When consciousness returns, it comes in fragments. Pain, overwhelming, all-consuming pain. The smell of antiseptic and burnt metal, voices speaking in low tones, a hand checking his pulse. Mace tries to open his eyes, but his eyelids feel like they're made of lead. He tries to speak, but his throat is raw, damaged from screaming during the fall. Where am I? The thought forms slowly, pushing through the fog of pain and shock. The Jedi Temple? No. The Force feels different here. Darker, more chaotic. This isn't the temple. Finally, Mace forces his eyes open. The ceiling above him is low, made of corrugated metal. Exposed pipes run along it, dripping condensation. A single flickering light provides dim illumination. This is not a medical facility. This is someone's workshop. Deep in Coruscant's industrial underbelly, a figure moves into his field of vision. A Deveronian, his red skin marked with scars, his horns filed down to nubs. The alien's eyes widen as he sees Mace awake. You're awake. Good. Thought we lost you. Been 3 days since Koro dragged you in here. You fell from somewhere high up. Real high. Don't know how you survived, but you're one lucky son of a bantha. Mace tries to sit up, but agony lances through his entire body. His chest feels like it's being crushed. His legs won't respond properly. And his right arm, he looks down and sees the bandaged stump where his arm used to be. The Deveronian notices his gaze and winces. Sorry about that. Arm was too far gone. Had to take it off clean or you'd have died from infection. Did what I could with what we had down here. Mace's mind is clearing now, pushing through the pain. Memories flood back. The Senate building. Palpatine revealing himself as Darth Sidious. The duel. Anakin arriving. The choice that Mace made. The choice that doomed everything. Easy now, the Devaronian says, gently pushing Mace back down. You're held together by spit and prayers. Give it time. Your body needs to heal. Mace wants to argue, wants to get up and get back to the temple. But his body refuses to cooperate. Every muscle screams in protest. So he lies back, breathing carefully, trying not to aggravate his broken ribs. The Devaronian offers him water, and Mace drinks gratefully. The liquid soothes his ravaged throat. Who are you? Mace manages to rasp. Name's Jaro. I run a salvage operation down here in the industrial sector. My partner, Koro, found you in a hauler, buried under a pile of scrap. We don't usually help people. Too dangerous. Too much attention. But you looked like you'd been through hell, and Koro's got a soft heart under all that gruff exterior. So we brought you here, patched you up best we could. Why? Mace asks. Why? Help me, Jaro shrugs. Because nobody else would. Down here, people die all the time, and nobody cares. Figured you deserve better than that. Besides, you've got the look of someone important, someone who matters. Mace almost laughs at that, but it comes out as a painful cough. Important. If Jaro only knew, if he only understood how badly Mace had failed, how his importance, his position, his power had all meant nothing in the end. The Jedi Order is gone. The Republic is gone. And Mace Windu, Master of the Order, Council member, Champion of the Light, had failed to stop it. Over the following days, Mace heals in Jaro's workshop. It's slow, agonizing work. His ribs knit back together. The gash on his back closes. His legs regain their strength, but the phantom pain of his missing arm never fades. He can still feel it, still sense the fingers that are no longer there. Jaro brings him food, changes his bandages, and keeps him hidden from the authorities. And at night, when Jaro thinks Mace is sleeping, the Devaronian turns on a small holoscreen and watches the news. That's how Mace learns what happened. The Holonet broadcasts tell him everything he needs to know. Every word, a dagger to his heart. The Jedi Temple burns. Smoke rises from its ancient spires, and the camera zooms in on clone troopers marching through the halls. The Order has been declared traitors to the Republic. The Jedi attempted to assassinate Supreme Chancellor Palpatine. They staged a coup, trying to seize control of the government. The brave Chancellor survived their treachery and has reorganized the Republic into the First Galactic Empire to ensure security and stability. Mace watches, numb, as Palpatine, now Emperor, addresses the Senate. His face is scarred, damaged by the Jedi attack, he claims. His voice is solemn, filled with regret. It pains me to take these actions, but the Jedi's betrayal has forced my hand. For too long, they have operated above the law, believing themselves superior to the people they claim to serve. No more. The Empire will bring order. The Empire will bring peace. The Senate erupts in applause. Mace sees senators he knows, senators he fought to protect, cheering for the Empire's formation. He sees Bail Organa sitting silent, his face grim. He sees Mon Mothma with tears in her eyes. But their voices are drowned out by the majority who welcome this new order. The broadcast continues. The Jedi are being hunted down, executed as enemies of the state. Footage shows clone troopers firing on Jedi Masters. Mace recognizes some of them. Masters he trained alongside. Friends he fought beside during the Clone Wars. All of them are falling, day after day. The news brings reports of more Jedi deaths. The temple archives are being purged. Jedi artifacts are being destroyed or seized by the Empire. And most devastating of all, the younglings. The children who were training to become Jedi. Gone. All of them. Slaughtered by clone troopers who just days before had fought alongside their Jedi generals. Mace watches all of this, and something inside him breaks, then hardens, then transforms into something cold and sharp. Jaro notices the change. "You all right?" "You've been staring at that screen for hours." Mace doesn't look away. "Tell me, these Jedi they're hunting, do you think they deserved it?" Jaro shifts uncomfortably. "I don't know. The Empire says they tried to take over, but I've met Jedi before, long time ago. They didn't seem like the type to stage a coup. Seems more like someone's rewriting history to me." Mace nods slowly. Someone is, and they're very good at it. The weight of failure crushes down on him. He should have seen it, should have seen through Palpatine's deceptions. The Sith Lord had been right there in front of the Council for years, and they'd sensed nothing. The dark side had clouded their vision, and by the time Mace realized the truth, it was too late. Should have trusted his instincts about Anakin Skywalker. The boy had always been different. Too much anger, too much fear, too much attachment. The Council should never have agreed to train him. But Qui-Gon Jinn had insisted, and after his death, Obi-Wan Kenobi had taken up the task, and Mace had allowed it, despite his reservations. Now, the galaxy was paying the price. But dwelling on failure won't bring them back, won't restore the order, won't undo what Palpatine has done. Mace begins his recovery with grim determination. Every morning, he pushes himself to move, to exercise, to rebuild his strength. His body is broken, but his will is unbreakable. Jaro watches with a mixture of admiration and concern as Mace forces himself through painful rehabilitation. Koro, Jaro's partner, a massive hook with surprisingly gentle hands, helps fashion Mace a crude, cybernetic arm from salvaged droid parts. It's not elegant, it's not pretty. The fingers sometimes twitch at random, and the joints grind when he moves it. But it works. Mace can grip things, can hold a weapon, can fight. "You're planning something," Jaro observes one night. "Something dangerous. I can see it in your eyes. You've got the look of a man preparing for war." Mace flexes his cybernetic fingers, watching the servos strain. Not war, justice. There's a difference, is there? Because from where I'm sitting, they look pretty similar. Mace doesn't answer. He returns to his exercises, pushing his body harder, faster. He practices forms with a metal pipe, relearning his combat stances with one arm gone. His balance is off. His center of gravity has shifted. Everything he spent decades perfecting has to be relearned. It's frustrating, infuriating work. But Mace doesn't give up. He can't afford to. As Mace regains his strength, he listens. The underworld is full of rumors, whispers, and secrets. Information flows through the industrial sectors and the lower levels like water through cracks. And if you know how to listen, you can learn almost anything. Mace learns about the Empire's expansion, about the clone troopers being phased out in favor of recruited stormtroopers, about the militarization of entire sectors, about the fear that's settling over the galaxy like a shroud. And he learns about Vader. The name appears first in hushed conversations. A new enforcer for the Emperor, they say, clad in black armor, wielding a red lightsaber. The stories paint him as unstoppable, merciless, a dark lord who hunts Jedi across the galaxy, cutting them down without hesitation. Wherever Vader goes, Jedi die. Mace studies every scrap of information he can find. He bribes information brokers. He intimidates Imperial deserters. He pieces together a pattern from scattered reports. Vader is systematic, methodical. He's not just killing Jedi randomly. He's hunting them down one by one, following leads, interrogating witnesses. It's the work of someone who knows how Jedi think, how they operate, someone who was trained by them. Holonet footage is rare, but Mace finds some. Grainy images of Vader from a distance, his cape billowing, his mechanical breathing audible even through poor audio. But it's a clearer recording during an Imperial ceremony that makes Mace's blood run cold. The way Vader moves, the stance he takes when standing at attention, the subtle gesture of his hand when he's impatient. Mace has seen those movements before. On battlefields across the galaxy during the Clone Wars, in the Jedi Temple during training sessions, in the Council chambers when debates ran long. Anakin Skywalker, the Chosen One, the hero of the Republic, the Jedi who was supposed to bring balance to the Force, now a monster in black armor, serving the Sith who destroyed everything. The realization hits Mace like a physical blow. He stumbles, gripping the edge of a table to keep from falling. Jaro rushes over, concerned, but Mace waves him off. It's him! It's Anakin! Palpatine didn't just defeat him. He turned him, twisted him into the very thing we fought against. Everything makes sense now. Anakin's fear for Padme, his desperation to save her, his anger at the Council. Palpatine had been grooming Anakin for years, planting seeds of doubt, exploiting his weaknesses. And when the moment came, when Mace had Palpatine at his mercy, Anakin had made his choice. He'd chosen the dark side, chosen power over principle, chosen Palpatine over the Jedi. And Mace had been there. He could have stopped it. If he'd been faster, stronger, more decisive. If he'd killed Palpatine before Anakin arrived. If he'd somehow reached Anakin, made him see reason. But he hesitated. Let his principles, his belief in due process, slow his hand. And the galaxy paid the price. Mace stares at his reflection in a grimy mirror. The man looking back is scarred, broken, changed. His face is harder, leaner. His eyes burn with an intensity that wasn't there before. The principal Jedi Master is gone. What remains is something forged in betrayal and rage. He makes a vow in that moment. He will find Vader. He will hunt him across the galaxy. And he will end what he should have ended on Coruscant. Not for revenge. He tells himself it's not for revenge. It's for justice. For the thousands of Jedi who died. For the younglings who were slaughtered. For the order that was destroyed. For the republic that fell. But deep down, in a place Mace doesn't want to examine too closely, he knows the truth. Part of it is revenge. Part of it is anger. And part of it is guilt, burning like acid in his gut, demanding that he make amends for his failure. Mace begins gathering what he needs. Credits come from selling salvage, from taking on dangerous jobs in the underworld. He's careful, using false names, changing his appearance. He lets his hair grow out, covers his face with scarves and hoods. The distinctive pattern of scars on his head, earned in battles long ago, would give him away to anyone who knows what to look for. So, he hides them. Weapons are easier to acquire in the lower levels. Everyone has something to sell. Mace purchases blasters, vibroblades, explosives, tools of his new trade. But the most important thing he needs is his lightsaber. It fell when Palpatine severed his arm. Somewhere in the Senate district, 300 levels up from where he now hides. Retrieving it is dangerous, possibly suicidal. The Empire has eyes everywhere. Stormtroopers patrol the upper levels, but Mace needs that weapon. It's not just a tool, it's part of him, his connection to the Force, his identity as a Jedi. One night, Mace makes the ascent. He moves through maintenance shafts and service corridors, avoiding the main thoroughfares. The industrial sector gives way to commercial zones, then to government districts. The architecture becomes cleaner, more refined. The people better dressed. This is the Coruscant most citizens know. Gleaming towers and orderly streets. Down below, where Mace has been hiding, the city is rust and shadows. Up here, it's polished metal and light. But underneath the surface, it's still the same. Still corrupt. Still ruled by those who care nothing for the people they govern. Mace reaches the Senate district and stops, staring up at the massive building. Its facade is scorched where Palpatine's lightning blasted through windows. Workers are already repairing the damage, erasing the evidence of what happened. Mace searches carefully, reaching out with the Force. His lightsaber calls to him. A familiar presence in the vast city. It's not in the Senate building itself. It's in an Imperial impound facility 3 blocks away. Evidence seized from the Jedi traitors to be catalogued and destroyed. The facility is guarded, but not heavily. The Empire doesn't expect anyone to be foolish enough to break in. Mace proves them wrong. He disables the external sensors with a focused pulse of the Force. The security system shorts out, giving him a 2-minute window. He scales the wall, moving with speed that his recovering body barely manages. Every movement sends pain through his ribs, but he ignores it. Pain is temporary. The mission matters. Inside, he navigates by feel, letting the Force guide him. His lightsaber is in a storage locker on the 3rd floor, surrounded by other Jedi weapons. Mace opens the locker and takes his lightsaber, the weight of it familiar in his hand. The purple crystal inside hums with energy, recognizing its wielder. For a moment, Mace considers taking the other weapons too. They could be useful, but they would also slow him down, and every second counts. He leaves them and escapes the same way he entered. By the time alarms start blaring, Mace is already descending back to the lower levels, his lightsaber secured at his side. He's whole again, armed, ready. Now, the real work begins. Months pass. Mace tracks reports of Vader's movements across the galaxy, studying his patterns like a hunter studying prey. The Dark Lord is systematic, methodical. He hunts down Jedi one by one, following leads from Imperial intelligence, interrogating witnesses, torturing those who refuse to cooperate. Each kill leaves a trail: burned temples, dead witnesses, scattered survivors who fled before Vader arrived. Mace follows that trail, always one step behind, sometimes 2 steps, sometimes 3, but he's learning, understanding Vader's methods, anticipating his movements. On Ryloth, Mace arrives at a Twi'lek settlement where a Jedi healer was hiding. The buildings are burned, reduced to blackened husks. Bodies lie in the streets, cut down by lightsaber strikes. Mace finds the healer's body in what was once a clinic. She's an older woman, her leku gray with age. She died defending her patients. Around her are the bodies of Imperial stormtroopers and the corpses of the innocents she tried to save. Mace kneels beside her, closing her eyes. Master Tira. He'd known her at the temple decades ago. She'd taught younglings how to use the Force for healing, how to mend broken bodies and ease suffering. Now she's gone, murdered for the crime of surviving. On Cato Nemoidia, he arrives at a Jedi safe house built into the cliffs. The door hangs off its hinges, ripped apart by tremendous force. Inside, 3 Jedi lie dead, cut down mid-combat. The scorch marks on the walls tell the story. They fought hard, used every technique they knew. It wasn't enough. Mace examines the lightsaber wounds, noting the angles, the precision, Vader's work. He kneels beside a young Padawan, no more than 15 years old. Her eyes are still wide with terror, frozen in the moment of her death. She was so young, should have had decades ahead of her, should have become a knight, maybe a master, should have lived to see the Empire fall and the Jedi restored. Mace closes her eyes gently, whispering an old Jedi prayer for the dead. The rage builds inside him, hot and terrible. But he channels it, lets it fuel him. The Jedi always taught control, discipline, but Mace knows the secret of Vapad, the lightsaber form he created. It feeds on darkness, turns the opponent's aggression into strength. It's a dangerous technique, one that walks the line between light and dark. But in these dark times, it's the only weapon Mace has that can match Vader's power. On Dantooine, Mace finds an enclave of younglings who survived Order 66, hidden by a brave Jedi Knight who died, buying them time to escape. He arrives just days after Vader left. The enclave is destroyed, but the younglings are gone, fled into the grasslands. Mace tracks them, finds them hiding in caves. There are 7 of them, ranging in age from 8 to 13. They're terrified, half-starved, traumatized by everything they've witnessed. Mace wants to help them, wants to take them somewhere safe, train them, rebuild the Order, but he knows he can't. His path is too dangerous. Anyone who follows him will die. So instead, he contacts a smuggler he knows. a Corellian with a conscience and a fast ship. He pays the smuggler everything he has to take the younglings to the outer rim, to a remote world where they can hide and survive. As the ship lifts off, the younglings wave from the windows. Mace watches until they're out of sight, hoping desperately that he's done the right thing, that they'll be safe, that he hasn't just sent them to another death. He'll never know. On Kashyyyk, everything changes. Mace receives intelligence from a Wookiee contact that Vader is coming to the homeworld, hunting a group of surviving Jedi who have taken refuge in the ancient Rosha forests. The information comes at a cost. The Wookiee who brought it was tortured by Imperial forces, his body broken. He dies in Mace's arms. His final words a warning. Dark One comes. Death follows. Many Jedi hide in Sacred Tree. You must save them. Mace promises he will. He arrives on Kashyyyk under cover of night, his ship landing in a remote clearing far from Imperial sensors. The forest is alive with sound. Exotic birds calling, creatures moving through the branches, the wind rustling through leaves the size of sails. It reminds Mace of better times, when he fought alongside Wookiees during the Clone Wars. When the Jedi were heroes, not hunted fugitives. He finds the temple after hours of climbing. It's built high in the Rosha trees, a structure of wood and stone that stood for thousands of years. The Jedi hiding there have made it into a sanctuary. Mace approaches cautiously, knowing they'll be on guard. When he steps into the light, weapons immediately train on him. Then, recognition dawns. Master Windu? A young Twi'lek Padawan lowers her blaster, her leku twitching with shock. We thought you died at the temple. I survived. As did you, it seems. The Jedi emerge from hiding. 5 of them. 2 knights, 3 Padawans. Mace recognizes some from the temple. Roan, a human knight who specialized in lightsaber combat. Kira, the Twi'lek Padawan, who was always top of her class in force techniques. Dren, a Zabrak knight with traditional facial tattoos. 2 others he doesn't know well. Younglings who were still learning when Order 66 came down. How did you survive the purge? Dren asks, his voice rough with emotion. Luck, stubbornness, the Force. Does it matter? What matters is that you're in danger. Vader is coming. The name sends a chill through the group. They've all heard the stories. The black-armored enforcer who hunts Jedi without mercy, who killed masters and Padawans alike, who seems unstoppable. We know, Roan says quietly. We've been tracking Imperial movements. His ship will arrive within hours. That's why you need to leave. Now, gather whatever you can carry and get to the lower levels. We can't, Kira says, her voice breaking. The Wookiees here, they sheltered us, fed us, protected us when the Empire would have killed us. If we run, the Imperials will punish them, execute entire families for the crime of showing mercy. We won't let that happen. Mace looks at their faces. Young, determined, scared. They're willing to die to protect those who help them. It's exactly what Jedi should do, and exactly why they'll all die if they stay. Then I'll deal with Vader. You get the Wookiees to safety. Take them deep into the forest, to the hidden villages. The Empire can't track everyone. Master Windu, Roan says carefully, you can't face Vader alone. He's too powerful. He's killed dozens of Jedi, masters who were stronger than any of us. You'll die, maybe. But if I don't fight him, you all will. And I'd rather die on my feet than hide and wait for death to find me. This isn't about pride or revenge. It's about giving you time, giving these people a chance to survive. That's what Jedi do. We protect those who can't protect themselves, even if it costs us everything. The words hang in the air. Finally, Dren nods. We'll evacuate the civilians, but if you fall, we're coming back. We won't leave you to die alone. If I fall, you run and never look back. That's an order. They want to argue, but there's no time. Roan clasps Mace's shoulder briefly. May the Force be with you, Master. And with you. Now go. As the Jedi and Wookiees evacuate through hidden paths in the forest, Mace remains in the temple alone. He walks through the chambers, noting the signs of life. Children's drawings on the walls, makeshift beds, a small kitchen where meals were shared. These Jedi made a home here, a brief sanctuary in a galaxy that wanted them dead. Mace meditates in the central chamber, sitting cross-legged on the wooden floor. He reaches out with the Force, feeling the life around him. The trees, ancient and wise. The animals, wild and free. The people, frightened and hopeful. All of it connected, all of it worth protecting. He thinks about Vapad, the form he created. It's always been dangerous, walking the line between light and dark. But now, having tasted true darkness during his months of hunting, Mace understands it better. The form isn't about using darkness. It's about understanding it, accepting that darkness exists within everyone and channeling it without being consumed. That's the key. The balance. Mace tests his cybernetic arm one more time, flexing the fingers. The servos have been acting up lately. The arm wasn't built for extended combat, and the strain is showing. But it'll hold. It has to. He ignites his lightsaber, the purple blade humming to life. The sound is comforting, familiar, a reminder of who he is, what he fights for. Then he waits. Vader's shuttle arrives at sunset, descending through the canopy to land in a clearing near the temple. Mace watches from above as the landing ramp lowers. Stormtroopers march out first, their white armor bright against the green forest. They spread out in formation, weapons ready. Then Vader emerges. Even from a distance, his presence is overwhelming. A void in the Force, a wound that seems to suck in all light and life around it. His cape billows behind him as he strides forward, his mechanical breathing audible even over the sounds of the forest. The troopers begin their search, moving through the lower levels of the temple. Mace lets them come, lets them think they're in control. Then, when they're deep inside, he drops from the shadows above. His purple blade ignites mid-fall. The first trooper dies before he realizes Mace is there, the lightsaber passing through his chest plate like it's paper. The second manages to raise his blaster, his training kicking in. But Mace is faster. His blade sweeps through the weapon and then through the trooper's neck. Clean, efficient. The others open fire, bolts streaking through the air, red energy filling the temple's shadows. But Mace is already moving. His blade becomes a blur, deflecting bolts with precision born of thousands of battles. He doesn't just block randomly. Each deflection is calculated, sending the bolts back toward their source. A trooper falls, his own shot reflected into his chest. Another drops as a bolt meant for Mace finds his helmet instead. Some bolts Mace redirects into the walls, which explode in showers of splinters and bark. Others he sends into support beams, which groan and crack under the assault. The temple begins to destabilize, adding to the chaos. A trooper tries to call for backup, but Mace pulls him with the force. The man flies through the air, crashing into his comrades. Before they can untangle, Mace is there. His lightsaber moves in quick, efficient arcs. No wasted movement. No hesitation. Just death. Bodies drop. The air fills with the smell of ozone and burnt plastoid. Blaster scoring marks the ancient walls. And through it all, Vader stands motionless at the entrance, watching. When the last trooper falls, twitching on the ground, Vader finally moves. He turns his masked face toward Mace. Even through the armor, Mace can feel the weight of his attention. It's like being targeted by a predator. Cold, calculating, inevitable. So, the dead Jedi Master returns. Vader's voice is deep, mechanical, filtered through his suit's vocoder. It sounds nothing like Anakin, nothing like the young man who used to joke and laugh. This is something else. Something broken and remade. Not as dead as you'd like. Anakin. The name hangs in the air between them, charged with meaning. Vader goes completely still. The silence stretches, broken only by his mechanical breathing. When he finally speaks, his voice is lower, more dangerous. That name no longer has meaning. I am Vader. Nothing more. The past is dead, buried beneath the ashes of the Jedi Temple. Mace steps into full view, his purple blade casting strange shadows on the walls. The past is never dead. It shapes us, defines us, follows us no matter how far we run. You can wear that armor. Change your name, serve the Sith, but underneath it all, you're still Anakin Skywalker. Still the boy who wanted to free the slaves. Still the Jedi who fought for the Republic. You think you know me? Vader's hand moves to his belt, unclipping his lightsaber. The movement is practiced, automatic. You know nothing. Windu, you and the Council, you were blind fools who failed the galaxy. You preached about peace and justice while the Republic rotted from within. You claimed to serve the Force while serving your own pride. The Jedi deserve to fall. I know we failed, Mace says quietly. I know the Order became complacent, arrogant. We lost our way, but that doesn't justify what you've done. Murdering younglings, hunting down your brothers and sisters, serving the Sith who orchestrated it all. Vader's lightsaber ignites with a snap hiss. The red blade casts a bloody glow across his armor. I serve the Empire because it brings order. Real order, enforced through strength. Not the weak, corrupt democracy of the Republic. Not the self-righteous arrogance of the Jedi. The galaxy must be remade, and the weak must be purged. Only the strong deserve to survive. At what cost? Mace's grip tightens on his lightsaber. How many innocents have you killed for this order? How many worlds have burned? How many lives destroyed? The price of peace is always high, and it's a price I'm willing to pay. That's not peace. That's tyranny dressed in different clothes. And it will fail, just like every empire before it. Then I will ensure it fails slower than your precious republic did. Then he waits. Vader's shuttle arrives at sunset, descending through the canopy to land in a clearing near the temple. Mace watches from above as the Dark Lord strides forward, flanked by stormtroopers. His mechanical breathing echoes through the trees, a rhythmic sound that seems to suck the life from the air around him. The troopers spread out, searching the temple. They don't find the Jedi. They find Mace instead. He drops from the shadows, his purple blade igniting mid-fall. The first trooper dies before he realizes Mace is there. The second manages to raise his blaster, but Mace's blade sweeps through it. Then through the trooper's chest. The others open fire, bolts streaking through the air, but their bolts never reach him. Mace deflects them with contemptuous ease, his blade moving in perfect arcs. He's fought thousands of droids during the Clone Wars. These troopers, well trained as they are nothing compared to that. He sends the bolts back into their ranks, watching as they fall one by one. Some he deflects into trees, which explode in showers of splinters. Others he redirects into the shuttle, which begins smoking as systems fail. Bodies drop. The air fills with the smell of ozone and burnt flesh. And through it all, Vader stands motionless, watching. When the last trooper falls, Vader finally moves. He turns his masked face toward Mace, and even through the armor, Mace can feel his attention lock on. It's like being targeted by a predator, a cold, calculating assessment. So, the dead Jedi Master returns. Vader's voice is deep, mechanical, devoid of the warmth and passion that Anakin once had. It sounds filtered, processed, inhuman. Mace steps into view, his purple blade casting strange shadows on the trees. Not as dead as you'd like, Anakin. The name hangs in the air, charged with meaning. Vader goes still, tension radiating from every line of his armored body. When he speaks again, his voice is lower, more dangerous. That name no longer has meaning. I am Vader. The past is dead. Mace advances slowly, his blade held in a defensive position. The past is never dead. It shapes us, defines us. You can wear that armor, change your name, serve the Sith, but you're still Anakin Skywalker underneath. Still the boy who wanted to free the slaves. Still the Jedi who fought for the Republic. You think you know me? Vader's hand moves to his belt, unclipping his lightsaber. You know nothing. The Jedi are blind fools who failed the galaxy. The Republic was corrupt, weak, dying. I serve the Empire because it brings order. It brings peace. Mace's grip tightens on his lightsaber. At what cost? How many innocents have you killed for this peace? How many Jedi? How many younglings? How many worlds have burned? Vader's lightsaber ignites with a snap hiss, the red blade casting a bloody glow. As many as necessary. The galaxy must be remade. The weak must be purged. Only the strong deserve to survive. Then you're not bringing peace. You're bringing tyranny. They clash. The impact of their lightsabers sends shockwaves through the Force, ripples that make the trees shake and animals flee. Mace channels Vapad, his blade a purple arc of controlled fury. The form is built around accepting and channeling the opponent's darkness. turning it into strength, and Vader has darkness in abundance. Mace feels it pouring off the Dark Lord in waves. Hatred, pain, rage, and beneath it all, a howling void of loss. Mace's blade moves faster, each strike feeding on Vader's darkness. He attacks high, then low, then spinning to strike from the side. His footwork is perfect, honed over decades of training and combat. Every movement is calculated, efficient, no wasted energy. Vader blocks each strike, his defense seemingly impenetrable. But unlike when Anakin fought, there's no flourish, no showmanship. Vader's style is brutal, direct. He uses his superior strength and the enhancements of his armor to simply overpower opponents. Each of his strikes comes in crushing waves, his lightsaber moving with mechanical precision. Mace deflects, counters, spins away. His cybernetic arm moves in sync with his organic one, though the slight delay in the neural connection throws off his timing. It's a weakness, one he's still learning to compensate for. Vader notices. He presses that weakness, attacking from angles that force Mace to rely on his cybernetic arm. The servos strain, the joints grinding. Mace adjusts, shifting his stance to minimize the disadvantage. But it's clear that he's not fighting at full strength. Their lightsabers lock, the blades crackling where they meet. Mace stares into Vader's masked face, seeing his own reflection in the dark lenses. Where Anakin's eyes should be, there's only the cold gleam of mechanical sensors. "You were the chosen one," Mace says, his voice strained with effort. "You were supposed to bring balance to the Force, not destroy it. You were supposed to save the galaxy, not enslave it." "And I have," Vader responds, his breathing loud in the sudden quiet. "The Jedi claimed to serve the Force, but they served only themselves. They hoarded power, made themselves judges over all. I bring true balance, strength over weakness, order over chaos." Mace shoves him back, breaking the lock. That's not balance. That's domination. And it will fail, just like every empire before it. History is littered with tyrants who thought they could rule forever. Then I will ensure history remembers the Empire differently. Vader attacks again, his strikes coming faster now. Mace blocks them all, but he's being driven back step by step. His boots find less secure footing on the wooden platforms. Behind him, there's a drop to the forest floor, hundreds of meters below. Vader knows it too. He presses harder, using brute force to overwhelm Mace's defense. A force push sends Mace stumbling. Before he can recover, Vader's blade comes down. Mace rolls aside, the red lightsaber missing him by inches. The platform beneath him cracks, wood splintering. He springs to his feet, but pain lances through his side where his still-healing ribs protest the movement. Vader sees the weakness. He follows up with a heavy overhead swing that Mace barely catches. The strength behind it drives Mace to one knee. Through the crossed blades, Vader looms over him. "You're old, Windu. Broken. You cannot defeat me. This is merely prolonging the inevitable." Mace grits his teeth, calling on the Force. He pulls on Vader's darkness, feeling it flow through the Varpad connection. The power surges into him, and he uses it to shove Vader back with explosive force. Vader staggers, his footing uncertain. Mace presses the advantage, his blade moving in a complex pattern that Vader struggles to block. This is what Vader was designed for, to turn the opponent's strength against them. The darker Vader is, the stronger Mace becomes. But it's a dangerous game, because as Mace channels that darkness, he feels it seeping into him, feels the anger, the hatred, the rage. It would be so easy to give in, to let it consume him, to become what he's fighting against. Mace pulls back, breaking off the attack. He can't afford to fall. Not now, not ever. Vader uses the moment to unleash a massive force push. The telekinetic wave hits like a physical blow, sending Mace flying backward. He crashes through a tree trunk, bark and wood exploding around him. Before he can recover, Vader is there, his blade coming down. Mace catches it on his own, but the impact drives him further back. They're moving away from the temple now, deeper into the forest. Platforms give way to branches, branches to vines. They fight across the canopy, their lightsabers flashing in the fading light. Vader rips a massive branch free with the Force and hurls it. Mace slices through it, but the debris forces him to dodge. Vader follows, pressing the attack. His style is relentless, never giving Mace a chance to breathe, to think, to plan. It's the opposite of Anakin's fighting style. Anakin was creative, unpredictable, always trying something new. Vader is methodical, systematic. He's studied Mace's fighting style, identified his weaknesses, and is exploiting them ruthlessly. Mace realizes with growing dread that he's being outmatched, not just in power, but in strategy. Vader isn't just stronger. He's smarter, more disciplined, more dangerous. A follow-up strike grazes Mace's side, burning through his cloak and scoring his skin. He hisses in pain, but doesn't slow, can't slow. Slowing means death. He leaps to a higher branch, trying to gain some advantage. Vader follows with a Force-enhanced jump that sends him rocketing upward. They clash again in mid-air, their lightsabers meeting 3 times before they land on opposite branches. "You're weakening," Vader observes. "I can feel it. Your connection to the Force is strong, but your body is failing. How much longer can you keep this up?" "As long as necessary," Mace responds. But he knows Vader is right. His breathing is labored. His muscles are burning. The wounds he took during his fall from Palpatine's office have never fully healed. And now they're being tested beyond their limits. Vader seems to sense victory. He attacks with renewed fury, his strikes coming in rapid succession. Mace blocks desperately, giving ground with each exchange. They fight back toward the clearing where Vader's shuttle landed, or where it was. The shuttle is gone, destroyed by the stray blaster bolts Mace reflected earlier. It lies in burning wreckage, a testament to the chaos of their battle. Vader doesn't seem to care. He presses Mace toward the edge of a cliff, a sheer drop to a river far below. Mace feels the edge at his back and knows he's out of room. This is where it ends. Either he defeats Vader here, or he dies trying. Mace centers himself, reaching deep into the Force. He channels Vader at its fullest. Pulling on every ounce of darkness, Vader emanates. The power floods into him, and for a moment, Mace feels invincible. He attacks with blinding speed, his lightsaber a purple blur. Vader blocks, but for the first time in their fight, he's on the defensive. Mace's strikes come from every angle, high and low, left and right. His blade moves like lightning, never stopping, never slowing. Vader gives ground, his defense tested. But then something changes. Vader stops defending. He accepts a glancing blow to his shoulder armor in exchange for a devastating force push. Mace flies backward, arms windmilling, the cliff edge disappearing beneath his feet. He's falling. Again. The river rushes up toward him. Mace reaches out with the force, grabbing vines, branches, anything to slow his descent. He crashes into the water hard enough to drive the air from his lungs. The current sweeps him away, tumbling him over rocks. He fights to the surface, gasping for air, pain radiating from every part of his body. By the time he drags himself onto the riverbank, kilometers downstream, Vader is gone. Mace lies on his back, staring up at the darkening sky. He lost. Vader is too powerful, too strong. The realization is bitter, crushing. But Mace isn't dead. And as long as he's alive, the fight continues. He tends his wounds as best he can, wrapping his burned side in torn cloth, setting his dislocated shoulder with a sharp pull and a bitten-off scream. Then he makes his way back to his ship, hidden in the forest. As he limps through the trees, Mace makes a decision. He can't beat Vader in a straight fight. The Dark Lord is too strong, too well protected by his armor and the Force. But maybe Mace doesn't need to beat him in combat. Maybe there's another way. If Vader is hunting Jedi, then Mace will make him chase something else. The Empire itself. Over the following weeks, Mace Windu transforms from a Jedi hunter into something else entirely. A rebel, a guerrilla fighter, a terrorist, by the Empire's definition. He strikes Imperial targets across the Outer Rim, choosing his marks carefully. Each mission is planned with precision, executed with ruthless efficiency. The first target is a listening post on Ord Mantell that coordinates Imperial intelligence across 3 sectors. Mace studies the facility for days, learning the guard rotations, the shift changes, the security protocols. He infiltrates during a shift change, disguised as a maintenance worker. His forged credentials are perfect. Created by a slicer he paid handsomely in the underworld. Inside, Mace moves through the corridors like a ghost. He disables security cameras with precise force pushes that look like technical malfunctions. He plants charges in the main server room, the communications array, and the power generator. Each explosive is set with a timer, synchronized to detonate simultaneously. But before he can leave, an officer spots him in a restricted area. "You there? What are you doing?" "Maintenance on the cooling system. We received reports of fluctuations." "Let me see your authorization." The officer approaches, his hand moving to his comlink. Mace doesn't hesitate. He reaches out with the Force, crushing the officer's throat before he can call for help. The man drops, gasping, his eyes wide with shock. Mace drags the body into a storage closet and continues. He makes it to the landing platform just as the charges detonate. The facility explodes in a massive fireball, taking months of intelligence data with it. Mace's ship lifts off as stormtroopers rush to contain the damage, but it's too late. The entire structure collapses, burying the Empire's intelligence network for 3 sectors. The second target is more ambitious. An Imperial Star Destroyer under construction at Fondor. The Retribution, they're calling it. A symbol of imperial might. Mace infiltrates the shipyards by stowing away on a supply transport. The yards are massive, spanning kilometers, with thousands of workers and hundreds of security personnel. But in that chaos, one man can disappear. Mace makes his way to the Star Destroyer's engineering section, where the hyperdrive is being installed. The technology is complex, requiring precise calibration. Mace spent days studying Star Destroyer schematics, learning the systems. He knows exactly where to strike. He accesses the hyperdrive control matrix and alters the safety protocols. It's subtle, almost undetectable. The hyperdrive will function normally during diagnostics, but when activated at full power, the safeties will fail. The containment field will collapse, and the hyperdrive will tear itself apart, taking the ship with it. 2 days later, the Retribution launches for its test run. Mace watches from a cantina on Fondor's surface, a holoscreen showing the launch. The ship is beautiful in a terrible way. All sharp angles and weapons, bristling with turbolasers, a symbol of everything the Empire represents. The ship enters hyperspace for its first jump. For a moment, everything seems fine. Then the containment field fails. The explosion is visible even from the surface, a brilliant flash that lights up the sky. The Retribution tears itself apart, debris scattering across real space. Hundreds of Imperial personnel die in seconds. Officers, engineers, stormtroopers, all of them serving a corrupt regime, but many of them just doing their jobs, following orders. Mace watches the explosion and feels nothing. No satisfaction, no guilt, just cold purpose. This is war. And in war, people die. The third target is personal. An Imperial governor on Bestine who's been systematically enslaving the local population. Governor Tarvitz, a bloated human who grew rich on the suffering of others. Mace learns everything about him. His schedule, his habits, his security. Tarvitz lives in a mansion on the outskirts of the capital, protected by layers of security that would stop an army. Motion sensors, patrol droids, armed guards, automated turrets. But they're designed to stop conventional attacks, not a Jedi. Mace approaches the mansion at night, moving through the gardens like a shadow. He disables the motion sensors with careful force manipulations, making them register false negatives. The patrol droids pass within meters of him, their sensors seeing nothing. He scales the wall, his cybernetic arm gripping the stone with mechanical strength. On the roof, he cuts through a skylight with his lightsaber, the blade making no sound. Inside, the mansion is opulent to the point of obscenity. Priceless art lines the walls. Exotic furniture fills every room. And in the master bedroom, Governor Tarvitz sleeps in a bed large enough for 10 people. Mace stands over him, watching the man snore. Tarvitz's face is soft, unmarked by hardship. He's never known suffering, never experienced the brutality he inflicts on others. Mace ignites his lightsaber. The sound wakes Tarvitz, who jerks awake, his eyes going wide with terror. Please, please, I'll give you anything. Credits, ships, information, anything you want. Just don't kill me. Mace's voice is cold, emotionless. You've taken everything from the people of this world. their freedom, their dignity, their lives. You sold children into slavery, worked men to death in your factories, lined your pockets while families starved. No, there's nothing you can offer that would balance those scales. But I have money, influence. I can help you. I can. Your money came from suffering. Your influence came from cruelty. And you'll never help anyone again. The governor scrambles backward, his voice rising to a scream. Guards! Guards! But no one comes. Mace disabled the security system before entering. They're alone. The governor dies, with Mace's lightsaber through his chest, quick and clean. No torture, no cruelty. Justice, not revenge. Mace tells himself it's justice. Has to believe it's justice. Because if it's revenge, if it's just killing for the sake of killing, then he's no better than Vader. Each attack is precise, calculated. Mace isn't reckless. He chooses targets that will hurt the Empire's expansion, slow their consolidation of power, and more importantly, targets that will draw Vader's attention. Because every Imperial facility that's destroyed by a purple lightsaber sends a message. Mace Windu is alive, and he's coming. The HoloNet begins reporting on the attacks. At first, the Empire tries to suppress the information, but word spreads through underground channels, smuggler networks, rebel cells. The one-armed shadow, they call him. The Ghost Jedi, the last council member. People whisper his name in hope. Maybe the Jedi aren't all gone. Maybe there's still someone fighting back. Vader follows the trail of destruction. Mace knows it from the reports he intercepts. The Dark Lord arrives at each site days after Mace leaves, examining the damage, interrogating survivors. It's a game of pursuit, with Mace always staying one move ahead. But it's exhausting. Mace barely sleeps. He's constantly moving, never staying in one place more than a few days. His body is wearing down, and his spirit is fraying at the edges. On Nar Shaddaa, in a grimy cantina in the Undercity, Mace encounters someone he never expected to see again. He's sitting in a corner booth, trying to blend in, when a Togruta woman with white lightsabers sits down across from him. Master Windu, I thought you were dead, the report said. Ahsoka Tano, Anakin's former Padawan. She looks older than Mace, remembers harder. The war and its aftermath have aged her beyond her years, but her eyes still hold that determined spark he remembers from the temple. I'm harder to kill than most, Mace replies cautiously. What are you doing here? Helping people, getting them off-world before the Empire finds them. There's a network of us, survivors trying to save who we can. And you? Hunting. Ahsoka's expression shifts to deep concern. Master Windu, that's not the answer. Hunting Vader, killing Imperials, it won't bring back the Order. It won't fix what happened. You're right, it won't. But it will stop him from killing anyone else. I've seen what he does, Ahsoka. The Jedi he's murdered. The innocents caught in his path. Someone has to stop him, and someone has to rebuild. Ahsoka counters. Someone has to preserve what the Jedi were, not just fight what they've become. Master Windu, look at yourself. When was the last time you meditated? When was the last time you found peace? She's right. And Mace knows it. He hasn't meditated properly in months, hasn't centered himself, found balance. Every waking moment is consumed by the hunt, by planning the next attack, by staying ahead of Vader. I don't have time for peace. The galaxy is at war. Every day I waste is another day Vader kills someone. Another day the Empire enslaves another world. Every day I spend in meditation is a day I'm not fighting. You're not fighting, Ahsoka says gently. You're consuming yourself. Master Windu, I can feel it. The darkness in you. It's growing. Every time you use that rage to fuel your power, it takes a piece of you. You're becoming what you're hunting. Mace's hand clenches into a fist on the table. I'm nothing like Vader. Aren't you? You use anger. You kill without hesitation. You've abandoned the Jedi way in favor of revenge. How is that different from what Anakin did? It's different because I'm fighting for justice, to protect people, to stop the Empire. Anakin chose power, chose darkness, chose to serve evil. And what have you chosen? What path are you walking? Because from where I'm sitting, it looks a lot like the dark side. The words hit harder than any lightsaber strike. Mace wants to deny it, wants to argue, but he can't, because deep down, he knows Ahsoka is right. The anger that fuels his Vapad, the rage that drives him forward, it's poisoning him, slowly, subtly, but surely. Ahsoka reaches across the table, her hand hovering near his. Anakin. He was my master, my friend, my brother, in all but blood. What he's become, it destroys me every day. I have nightmares about it, about the temple burning, about the younglings, about everything we lost. But I won't let that destruction consume me too. I won't let what he did turn me into something I'm not. Don't let it consume you either. Mace pulls his hand back. I appreciate your concern, Ahsoka. Truly. But my path is clear. Vader must be stopped. And if that means walking close to the darkness, then that's a price I'm willing to pay. What if the price is your soul? What if you defeat Vader but become him in the process? Was it worth it? Mace stands, leaving credits on the table. I'll do whatever it takes. The conversation is over. He walks out of the cantina, feeling Ahsoka's eyes on his back. She doesn't follow. She knows he won't listen. Not yet. Maybe not ever. Outside, in the neon-lit streets of Nar Shaddaa, Mace disappears into the crowd. But Ahsoka's words echo in his mind, refusing to be silenced. Is he becoming what he hunts? Has the darkness already won? He pushes the thoughts away, focusing on his next target, an Imperial weapons facility on Scarif. If he can destroy it, it will set back the Empire's military production by months. That's what matters. The mission, the fight, not philosophy, not self-reflection, action. But doubt has been planted, and like a seed, it grows in the darkness. The mission on Scarif goes wrong from the start. Mace infiltrates the weapons facility by hiding in a supply shipment, just as he's done before. But Imperial intelligence has improved. They've been studying his methods, analyzing his patterns, setting traps. Admiral Thrawn himself has been reviewing the attacks, identifying commonalities. And now they're ready. When Mace plants the charges in the main reactor and tries to escape, he finds every exit sealed. Blast doors slam shut with mechanical precision. Red lights flash. Alarms blare. And from every corridor, stormtroopers pour in. Dozens of them, maybe 100, all with weapons trained on the single exit from the reactor chamber. Leading them is an Inquisitor. The fifth brother, a massive Pawan who towers over the troopers. His skin is gray, his eyes burning yellow with dark side corruption. He carries a double-bladed spinning lightsaber, the red blades igniting with a menacing hiss. He grins as he sees Mace, revealing sharp teeth. Mace Windu, the dead council member, Lord Vader, will be most pleased when I bring him your head. Perhaps he'll finally acknowledge my superiority over the other Inquisitors. Mace ignites his purple blade, settling into a defensive stance. He'll have to settle for yours instead. Confident words. But you're alone, injured, surrounded. How do you plan to escape this, Jedi? The same way I escape everything, through you. The fifth brother laughs and signals his troopers. They open fire. Bolts streak through the air from every direction, converging on Mace's position. But Mace is already moving. His lightsaber becomes a purple shield, deflecting bolts with impossible precision. He's fought through droid armies during the Clone Wars, faced down thousands of enemies. These stormtroopers, skilled as they are, can't compare. He deflects bolts back into their ranks, each one finding a target. Troopers fall, their armor no protection against their own weapons. Others he sends into the walls. The equipment, anywhere but him. The fifth brother watches with growing frustration, then ignites his spinning lightsaber and rushes forward. The weapon spins like a deadly wheel, the twin blades creating a continuous circle of death. He swings it horizontally, trying to bisect Mace. But Mace ducks under the attack, feeling the heat of the blades pass over his head. He counters with a quick thrust aimed at the fifth brother's midsection. The Inquisitor spins his weapon down to block, the blades catching Mace's strike with a shower of sparks. They separate, circling each other while troopers continue firing from the perimeter. Mace deflects their bolts without looking, his attention focused entirely on the fifth brother. The Inquisitor is strong, he can feel that. Trained in the dark side, fueled by hatred and ambition. Perfect fuel for Vapad. Mace opens himself to the dark side energy radiating from his opponent, letting it flow through him. The power amplifies his strength, quickens his reflexes. He attacks, his blade moving in the flowing patterns of Vapad. Each strike flows into the next, creating an endless sequence. The fifth brother blocks with his spinning lightsaber, using the circular motion to intercept attacks from multiple angles. But Mace varies his timing, striking between the rotations, forcing the Inquisitor to break his pattern. The fifth brother snarls in frustration and changes tactics. He stops spinning his lightsaber and separates it into two individual blades. Now he attacks with both, swinging in rapid succession, left, right, left, right. A barrage of strikes that would overwhelm most opponents. But Mace has trained for decades against multiple opponents. He blocks the left blade with his lightsaber while catching the right blade with his cybernetic hand, the metal fingers gripping the hilt. The fifth brother's eyes widen in shock. Mace yanks the lightsaber from his grip and hurls it across the chamber. It spins through the air, cutting down 3 stormtroopers before embedding itself in a wall. "Now we're even," Mace says. The fifth brother roars in rage and attacks with his remaining blade. His strikes are wild now, fueled by anger rather than technique. Mace blocks easily, reading each attack before it comes. He can feel the Inquisitor's emotions like an open book. Rage, fear, desperation. The dark side is consuming the fifth brother, making him sloppy. Mace counters with a precise strike that cuts through the Inquisitor's lightsaber hilt. The weapon sparks and dies, leaving the fifth brother unarmed. But the Pau'an doesn't surrender. He reaches out with the Force, pulling debris from around the chamber. Metal beams, broken equipment, pieces of machinery. All of it flies toward Mace in a telekinetic storm. Mace deflects what he can with his lightsaber, dodges the rest. A metal beam grazes his shoulder, tearing his cloak. A piece of machinery clips his leg, nearly taking him off his feet, but he pushes through the assault, closing the distance. The fifth brother tries to pull his second lightsaber back from the wall, but Mace reaches it first with the Force. The weapon flies to his hand, and now Mace holds two lightsabers, purple and red, light and dark. He tosses the red blade aside, letting it deactivate. "I don't need your weapon to defeat you." The fifth brother unleashes Force lightning from his fingertips. Blue electricity arcs through the air, and Mace barely gets his lightsaber up to absorb it. The energy crackles around his blade, dispersing into the ceiling, but the attack is sustained, pouring more and more power. Mace's arms shake with the effort of holding his defense. His muscles burn. Sweat drips down his face. The remaining stormtroopers use the distraction to close in, firing from point-blank range. Mace can't defend against both the lightning and the blasters. He has to make a choice. He chooses offense. Mace stops blocking the lightning and lets it hit him. The electricity courses through his body, setting every nerve on fire. But he channels it through Varpard, turning the pain into power. He rushes forward through the lightning, his lightsaber raised. The fifth brother's eyes widen in shock as Mace closes the distance. Too late, he cuts off the lightning and tries to dodge. Mace's blade catches him across the chest, cutting deep. The Inquisitor staggers, clutching the wound, falls to his knees. "You." "How?" "Varpard. It turns your darkness against you. The stronger you are in the dark side, the more power you give me. You never had a chance." The fifth brother collapses, dying. Mace turns to the remaining troopers, his body smoking from the lightning, his clothes scorched. They hesitate, seeing what he just survived. Then they flee, abandoning their posts. Mace doesn't pursue. He staggers to the charges, checks the timers. 2 minutes until detonation. He needs to move. Mace doesn't finish him. He's not here to kill dark-side users. He's here to destroy the facility. The charges detonate, ripping through the reactor core. Mace runs, using the Force to enhance his speed. He barely makes it to his ship before the entire complex goes up in a massive explosion. As he escapes into hyperspace, he hears Imperial communications reporting the destruction. And he hears Vader's voice, cold and mechanical, ordering all forces to increase their efforts to find him. The hunt intensifies. Over the next months, Mace strikes again and again. But the Empire is learning, adapting. They station more Inquisitors at key facilities. They improve their security. They set better traps. Mace barely escapes from Fondor when the seventh sister ambushes him in a shipyard. On Lothal, the Grand Inquisitor himself nearly kills him. Their duel lasting hours before Mace can disengage. He's still the superior fighter, but he's one man, and the Empire has resources, numbers, persistence. They're wearing him down, bleeding him slowly, death by 1,000 cuts. Mace knows he can't keep this up forever. Something has to change. And then intelligence reaches him about a facility on Stygian Prime, an Imperial prison where captured Jedi are being held, interrogated, tortured. The Inquisitorius uses it as a base, breaking Jedi and turning them to the dark side, and Vader oversees it personally. It's too perfect an opportunity. Mace knows it could be a trap, probably is a trap, but he doesn't care. Those Jedi need him, and if Vader is there, then maybe this is where it ends, one way or another. Mace plans carefully for once. He studies the facility's layout from stolen Imperial data. He identifies weak points, escape routes, choke points. He prepares explosives, backup weapons, emergency plans, and he meditates. For the first time in months, Mace sits in true meditation, centering himself in the Force. He doesn't find peace. The darkness is still there, coiled in his heart like a serpent. But he finds clarity, purpose. This mission isn't about revenge. It's about saving lives. If he dies doing it, so be it. That's a death he can accept. Mace infiltrates Stygian Prime, hidden in a supply shipment. His forged credentials get him past the first checkpoints, but he abandons stealth once inside the detention levels. His lightsaber ignites, and the killing begins. Stormtroopers fall in waves as Mace moves through them, like a force of nature. His blade is a purple blur, deflecting bolts and striking down troopers with ruthless efficiency. His cybernetic arm crushes throats when his lightsaber is occupied, breaks necks when enemies get too close. He's become terrifyingly effective at killing, efficient, cold, brutal. Alarms blare throughout the facility. Blast doors seal, trying to trap him, but Mace cuts through them, his lightsaber carving through durasteel like paper. Nothing stops him. Nothing slows him. He's a juggernaut of purpose. In the detention level, he finds them. 5 Jedi, bound in energy shackles, beaten and emaciated. 2 knights, 3 Padawans. Their bodies bear the marks of torture, burns from electricity, cuts from blades, the hollow look of beings who've been broken. An Inquisitor stands guard. The 3rd sister, a former Jedi who fell to the dark side. She ignites her spinning lightsaber as Mace enters. Master Windu, Lord Vader said you might come. He's prepared a welcome for you. Then he'll be disappointed when I don't stay. Mace attacks without preamble. The 3rd sister is fast, her lightsaber spinning in complex patterns. But Mace is faster. He's fought thousands of battles, faced dozens of dark side users. She's skilled, but she's young, inexperienced. He reads her patterns instantly. When she spins high, he goes low. When she attacks from the right, he's already moving left. His lightsaber finds the gaps in her defense, forcing her back step by step. She tries to use the Force, throwing debris at him. Mace slices through it without breaking stride. She unleashes lightning. Mace absorbs it with his lightsaber, redirecting it into the walls. Within moments, she's desperate, her confidence shattered. "You were a Jedi once," Mace says, as their blades lock. "You know the path you're walking leads only to destruction. It's not too late to turn back. It is too late. The dark side is the only truth. The Jedi are dead. Their time is over. If you truly believed that, you wouldn't hesitate, wouldn't fear. I can feel your doubt." He pushes her lightsaber aside and delivers a devastating kick that sends her flying. She crashes into the wall, stunned. Mace advances, his blade raised for the killing blow. But then he stops, looks at her, really looks at her. She's young, maybe 25. She became an inquisitor because the alternative was death, because she was broken, tortured, twisted until she had no choice. Killing her won't bring justice. It'll just add another body to the pile. Mace deactivates his lightsaber. When she looks up, confused, he extends his hand. "The door is to your left. I suggest you use it before I change my mind." The third sister stares at him for a long moment. Then she runs, disappearing into the chaos of the facility. Mace turns to the Jedi prisoners and cuts their bonds. They collapse, too weak to stand. He distributes weapons he took from fallen troopers, helps them to their feet. "Can you walk?" One of the knights, a Zabrak with broken horns, nods weakly. "We can manage, but Master Windu, Vader is here. He's waiting for you." "I know. That's why you're leaving, and I'm staying. There's a hangar 2 levels up. Take the first ship you find and get out of here." "What about you?" "I have business here. The Jedi want to argue, want to help, but they're too weak." Mace leads them to a service corridor that leads to the hangar. "Go. Protect each other. Rebuild the Order if you can. Be better than we were." As they leave, Mace feels a presence behind him, cold, dark, consuming. He turns slowly, and there is Vader, standing in the corridor. His cape spreads behind him like wings of shadow. His breathing echoes in the enclosed space. "You came." Vader's voice is unsurprised. "I knew you would. You cannot resist playing the hero." Mace ignites his lightsaber, taking a combat stance. "I'm no hero. Not anymore. But I won't let you torture them. Won't let you break them like Palpatine broke you." Vader's hand moves to his lightsaber. "You speak of corruption? You, who channels the dark side with every strike. You, who kills without mercy. Who has abandoned the Jedi way. We are not so different, Windu. We're nothing alike, aren't we? We both serve our convictions, no matter the cost. We both believe we're justified. We both use the Force to achieve our ends. The only difference is honesty. I accept what I am. You still pretend to be something you're not." Mace circles, keeping his distance. This is Vader's game, psychological warfare, breaking down his opponent's confidence. Anakin used to do the same thing in a different way, with jokes and banter instead of harsh truths. But the goal is the same. Get inside the enemy's head. "I know what I am," Mace says. "A broken Jedi trying to do what's right. That's more than you can say." Vader laughs, the sound harsh and mechanical. "What's right? You destroyed an Imperial facility on Scarif, killing hundreds. You assassinated a governor on Bestine. You've left a trail of bodies across the galaxy. And you call that right? They were servants of tyranny, soldiers of an evil empire. They chose their side. And the younglings I killed, did they choose their side? Did they deserve to die for the sins of the Jedi? The words hit like a physical blow. Mace's grip on his lightsaber tightens, rage flooding through him. You murdered children, innocents. There's no justifying that, no excusing it. I do not excuse it. I accept it. They were part of a corrupt system. Their deaths were necessary to create something better, and I will not apologize for doing what needed to be done. Mace attacks. The rage that's been building for months, the grief and guilt and failure, all of it pours into his strike. His lightsaber flashes forward with incredible speed, aimed at Vader's head. Vader blocks, but barely. The impact sends him stumbling back. Mace follows, his blade moving in the patterns of Varpad. He channels every ounce of darkness emanating from Vader, feeding on it, amplifying it. His strikes come faster than before, more powerful. Vader defends, his red blade moving to intercept each attack. But for the first time in their encounters, he's being pushed back. Mace's rage is giving him strength, and Varpad is turning Vader's darkness against him. They fight through the corridor, their lightsabers casting crazy shadows on the walls. Sparks fly where their blades meet, the metal floor beneath them dense from the Force-enhanced strikes. Vader tries to use his strength advantage, unleashing powerful overhead strikes that would crush a normal opponent. But Mace redirects them, turns them aside, uses Vader's momentum against him. You're strong, Vader. Mace's voice is strained with effort, powerful. But strength isn't everything. You lack control, discipline, everything that made Anakin Skywalker great. Vader's rage explodes. He unleashes a wave of Force energy that shatters the corridor, sending both of them flying. They crash through a wall into a massive chamber. It's the facility's communications center, filled with computers, holographic displays, and Imperial technicians who flee at the sight of two Force users fighting. Mace recovers first. He attacks before Vader can fully rise, his lightsaber aimed at the Dark Lord's chest. Vader rolls aside, the purple blade missing by millimeters. It carves through a computer bank instead, sending sparks and smoke into the air. Vader springs to his feet, his cape settling around him. He retaliates with a brutal series of strikes that force Mace back. They're more evenly matched now. Mace has adapted to Vader's style, learned his patterns, and Varpad is giving him the edge, turning Vader's immense darkness into power. But Vader is learning too. He varies his attacks, uses the environment, refuses to fall into predictable patterns. He rips a holographic projector from the ceiling and hurls it. Mace slices through it, but the debris forces him to dodge. Vader follows, pressing the attack. His lightsaber comes in low, forcing Mace to block downward. Then Vader's boot comes up, catching Mace in the chest. The kick sends Mace flying into a wall. Before he can recover, Vader's there, his blade coming down. Mace catches it on his own, but the strength behind the blow drives him to his knees. They're face to face now, or as close as they can be with Vader's mask. Mace can see his own reflection in the dark lenses. "You're weakening," Vader observes. "I can feel it. Your connection to the Force is strong, but your body is failing. How much longer can you keep this up?" "As long as necessary." Mace channels the force into his legs and shoves upward, breaking Vader's hold. He spins away, his lightsaber moving in a defensive pattern. Vader follows, relentless. They fight across the communication center, destroying everything in their path. Computers explode. Holographic displays shatter. The walls are scorched with lightsaber marks. And through it all, they talk. "You want to know the truth, Windu?" Vader's voice is cold, conversational. "I've grown stronger than you can imagine. The dark side gives me power the Jedi never dreamed of. And Palpatine? He's shown me the galaxy's true nature. Chaos, suffering, the strong dominating the weak. The Empire brings order to that chaos. Mace deflects a strike and counters with a quick slash, by crushing anyone who resists, by murdering children, by burning worlds. That's not order. That's tyranny. Order and tyranny are the same thing. Rules enforced through power. The Jedi did it with their supposed moral authority. The Empire does it through military might. At least the Empire is honest about what it is. The Jedi served the people, protected them. The Republic was far from perfect, but it was better than this. Better? Vader spits the word like poison. The Republic was a rotting corpse held together by lies. The Senate was corrupt. The Jedi were blind. Slavery thrived in the Outer Rim while you sat in your temple and did nothing. My mother died a slave while the Jedi debated philosophy. Don't talk to me about better. The mention of Shmi Skywalker stops Mace for a fraction of a second. And in that moment, Vader strikes. His lightsaber comes in from an unexpected angle, grazing Mace's arm and scoring the armor beneath his cloak. Pain lances through Mace, but he doesn't slow. Can't slow. He counters with a vicious strike that Vader barely blocks. Your mother would be ashamed of what you've become. She would weep to see the monster you are. You know nothing about my mother. She's dead. You're dead. The Jedi are dead. The past is dead. All that remains is the Empire. And you, standing in its way, alone and broken. Mace channels more of Vader's darkness, feeling it flow through him. The power is intoxicating, overwhelming. He's never felt so strong. His strikes come faster, harder. Vader defends desperately now, giving ground. This is it. This is the moment. Mace can end it here, but then something shifts. Mace feels the darkness inside him growing, spreading. It's not just channeled anymore. It's taking root, becoming part of him. He sees himself through Vader's eyes. A Jedi consumed by rage, wielding the dark side, killing in the name of justice. How different is that from what Vader does? The realization shakes him, and his attack falters. Vader senses the weakness instantly. He doesn't hesitate. His lightsaber comes up in a defensive block that transitions into an offensive strike. But instead of trying to kill Mace, he reaches into the Force, not to push or pull, but to touch, to invade. Vader's presence slams into Mace's mind, and for a brief moment, their consciousness connects through the Force. Mace feels Vader's pain, the constant agony of his burned body, the machines keeping him alive, the suit that's both prison and life support. He feels the rage, the hatred, the loss, and beneath it all, buried so deep it's almost invisible, he feels Anakin Skywalker, screaming, trapped, drowning in an ocean of darkness and unable to escape. The contact breaks as quickly as it formed. Both of them stagger back, breathing hard. Vader seems as shaken by the connection as Mace is. For a moment, neither attacks. They simply stare at each other, processing what they felt. Then, Vader unleashes a barrage of Force lightning. The blue electricity arcs through the air, and Mace barely gets his lightsaber up in time to absorb it. The energy crackles around his blade, dispersing into the ceiling and walls. But Vader doesn't stop. He pours more power into the attack, forcing Mace back, step by step. The lightsaber grows hot in Mace's hands, the crystal inside screaming as it channels massive amounts of energy. Mace's arms shake with the effort of holding his defense. He can feel his strength failing, his muscles giving out. This is how Palpatine killed him before, with lightning, with overwhelming dark side power. History is repeating itself, and Mace is too weak to stop it. But then he remembers something, a technique he learned long ago, but rarely used. He stops trying to block the lightning. Instead, he absorbs it, pulls it into himself, lets it flow through his body. The pain is excruciating, but Mace channels it through Vapad, turning it into strength. The lightning flows into him and out again, redirected back at Vader. The Dark Lord's eyes widen behind his mask as his own attack comes back doubled. He cuts off the lightning and throws himself aside, but he's too slow. The electricity hits his suit, and systems begin to fail. Smoke rises from his chest panel. His breathing becomes ragged, irregular. Mace advances, seeing his opportunity. Vader is vulnerable now. His suit damaged, his systems failing. One more strike and it's over. But as Mace raises his lightsaber, he sees Vader's hand trembling, not with fear, with pain. The suit isn't just armor, it's life support. Without it, Vader will die, and not quickly, slowly, suffocatingly, as his lungs fail and his body shuts down. It would be an agonizing death, a fitting end for someone who's caused so much suffering. Mace's blade hovers over Vader, ready to strike. What are you waiting for? Vader's voice is distorted now, his vocoder glitching. Strike me down. Become the very thing you claim to hate. Do it. Windu, prove that you're no better than me. Mace stares at the Dark Lord, and he sees himself reflected in that black mask, sees what he's become, a killer, a man driven by rage and vengeance, using the dark side to justify his actions. Ahsoka was right. He's been becoming what he hunts. And if he kills Vader like this, if he strikes down a wounded, helpless enemy, then he's crossed a line he can never uncross. Slowly, Mace lowers his blade. No. Vader tenses, his confusion apparent even through the mask. What are you doing? Finish it. Killing you won't bring back the Order, won't restore the Republic, won't fix anything. Mace deactivates his lightsaber. You're Palpatine's slave, Vader. His weapon, his puppet. And I won't give him the satisfaction of corrupting another Jedi. I won't become you. Vader's breathing quickens, the sound irregular and pained. His confusion turns to rage. You're weak, pathetic. You had the chance to end this, and you wasted it. When we meet again, I won't hesitate. I know, but I also know something you don't. The contact we made, the The connection through the Force. I felt him, Vader. Felt Anakin Skywalker buried deep inside you. Mace backs toward the door, his lightsaber still ready in case Vader attacks. He's drowning in there, screaming for someone to save him, and you keep pushing him down. Because acknowledging him would mean acknowledging the pain, the guilt, the loss. That's a lie. Vader snarls, but there's uncertainty in his voice. Anakin Skywalker is dead. I destroyed him. No, you buried him. But he's not dead. He's caged, trapped, suffocating in the darkness you've surrounded yourself with. And one day, Vader, one day, he's going to break free. Vader lunges, but his damaged suit makes him slow. By the time he crosses the distance, Mace is gone. The facility begins collapsing around him as Mace's charges detonate. Vader escapes, but barely, his damaged suit struggling to keep him alive. As his shuttle lifts off, he watches the prison crumble beneath him, and for the first time in years, he feels something other than hate and pain. Fear. Fear that Windu was right. Fear that Anakin is still there, still aware, still suffering. Fear that one day, the boy he buried will claw his way back to the surface. Later, in his meditation chamber aboard the Executor, Vader kneels before a holocommunicator. Palpatine's hologram appears, his scarred face twisted in displeasure. You let Windu escape. Again. Vader keeps his head bowed, not wanting his master to see his face. My master, I was. Enough. Your personal vendetta against the Jedi Master is becoming tiresome. If you cannot eliminate him, perhaps I should send someone more capable. The Grand Inquisitor, perhaps. Or an assassin. No, my master. I will find him. I will destroy him. See that you do. The Emperor cannot afford to have a rogue Jedi running loose, inspiring hope in the pathetic rebels. Kill him, Lord Vader, or face the consequences of failure. The hologram vanishes. Vader is alone in the darkness of his chamber. He tells himself that Windu was wrong, that Anakin Skywalker is dead, that there's nothing left but the armor, the hate, the dark side. But doubt gnaws at him. That moment of hesitation when their minds connected, that flicker of pain, of regret, the memory of Shmi, of Padme, of everything he lost. It haunts him. Across the galaxy, in the cockpit of his battered ship, Mace sits in silence. His hands tremble, not from fear or exhaustion, but from the realization of how close he came, how close to falling completely, how close to becoming the very thing he despised. Ahsoka was right. The hunt was consuming him, turning him into a reflection of Vader, a dark mirror of what he was supposed to be. But in that moment, when he chose mercy over revenge, when he lowered his blade instead of striking, he found something he thought was lost. His Jedi compassion, his principles. Not the rigid, dogmatic principles of the old order, but something deeper, something more fundamental. The understanding that every being deserves a chance at redemption. Mace knows now that he can't defeat Vader through violence. The dark side is too strong in him, the armor too well designed. And even if Mace could kill him, what would that accomplish? Another death added to the pile. Another victory for the darkness. But maybe there's another way. Not to kill the monster, but to wake the man trapped inside. It's a long shot, probably impossible. The Anakin he knew might be too far gone, too deeply buried. But it's the only path forward that doesn't lead to Mace's own damnation. He's walked to the edge of the dark side and looked into the abyss. He's seen what he could become, and he's chosen to step back. That's a victory, small as it is. Mace sets course for the Outer Rim. He has contacts there, people who've been building something, a resistance, a rebellion. If he can't destroy Vader or the Empire alone, then maybe he can help others do it. Give them his knowledge, his skills, his experience. He can protect the innocent, give hope to those who have none. And maybe, just maybe, his example will reach Vader, will remind him of who he used to be, of the hero he could be again. On Coruscant, in the Imperial Palace that was once the Senate building, Palpatine stands before a massive window, looking out over the city. He's been watching reports of Mace Windu's movements, tracking the Jedi's attacks across the galaxy, and he's pleased. Yes, Windu is a nuisance, a thorn in the Empire's side, but he's also useful. Every attack Windu makes, every Imperial facility he destroys, pushes Vader further into the dark side, makes him more ruthless, more committed to hunting down the Jedi. Palpatine knows Vader is conflicted, can sense the doubt growing in his apprentice. The meeting with Windu stirred up memories, emotions, weaknesses, but rather than being concerned, Palpatine is confident. Doubt and conflict can be weaponized, used to make Vader stronger. As long as Windu lives, Vader will hunt him. And in hunting him, Vader will sink deeper into darkness, will kill more, hurt more, lose more of himself, until nothing of Anakin remains. It's perfect. A trap that neither Jedi Master nor Dark Lord realizes they're caught in. Palpatine smiles, his scarred face twisting into a rictus of satisfaction. Let them fight. Let them struggle. In the end, the darkness always wins. But unknown to Palpatine, something has changed. The seed of doubt in Vader's heart is growing. And Mace Windu, having turned back from the edge of darkness, is becoming something the Emperor didn't anticipate. Not a vengeful killer, but a symbol. Hope personified. And hope, as the Emperor will learn, is the most dangerous thing in the galaxy, because it spreads, multiplies, inspires others to resist, to fight, to believe that change is possible. But before Mace can fully commit to the rebellion, he has more work to do. More Imperial targets to strike, more darkness to confront. On Fondor, a massive Imperial Star Destroyer is under construction. The Imperator-class ship represents the Empire's military might, a symbol of their dominance. Mace infiltrates the orbital shipyards disguised as a maintenance worker. His forged credentials are perfect, created by rebel sympathizers. He moves through the construction site, noting the thousands of workers. Most are slaves, taken from conquered worlds. They work in terrible conditions, many dying from accidents or exhaustion. It fuels Mace's resolve. This is what the Empire truly is. Not order, not peace. Just exploitation and cruelty dressed in uniforms. Mace plants charges at key structural points throughout the ship's frame. The explosives are small, barely noticeable, but placed correctly, they'll cause a cascade failure. As he works, he's confronted by an unexpected presence. The seventh sister, one of the Empire's Inquisitors. She's a former Jedi, twisted by the dark side, her yellow eyes gleaming with malice. Well, well, the famous Mace Windu. Lord Vader will be pleased when I bring him your head. She ignites her double-bladed spinning lightsaber, the red blades creating a deadly disk of energy. Mace doesn't waste time on words. He ignites his new lightsaber, the purple blade springing to life. They fight among the construction equipment, surrounded by half-built bulkheads and exposed wiring. The seventh sister is fast, her spinning lightsaber creating a defensive barrier that's hard to penetrate. But Mace has fought dark side users before. He knows their patterns. He waits for an opening when she spins high, attempting an overhead strike. Mace goes low. His blade cuts through her spinning weapon's handle, severing the mechanism. The lightsaber stops spinning, becoming two separate blades in her hands. The seventh sister snarls and attacks with both blades, her strikes coming in a flurry. Mace's defense is perfect, his blade intercepting each attack. Then he counters, his strikes precise and devastating. Within moments, the Inquisitor is on the defensive. Mace's Vapad feeds on her darkness, turning her aggression into his strength. She tries to use the Force, throwing debris at him. He deflects it with a gesture. She unleashes lightning. He absorbs it with his blade and sends it back. The fight is brutal but brief. Mace is simply too skilled, too experienced. His final strike disarms her, literally, sending one of her lightsabers flying. The second follows. She stands before him, defenseless and afraid. Do it. She closes her eyes. Kill me like you've killed the others. I'm not here to kill you. I'm here to give you a choice. The same choice I was given. Turn back. The dark side doesn't have to be your path. She opens her eyes, confusion clear on her face. Why? Why would you spare me? Because someone spared me when I walked too close to the darkness. Because redemption is always possible. Because you were a Jedi once, and maybe you can be again. The seventh sister stares at him for a long moment. Then she runs, disappearing into the shipyard. Mace doesn't know if she'll take his offer. Doesn't know if she'll turn back or report to Vader. But he gave her the choice. That's what matters. The charges detonate minutes later. The Star Destroyer's frame buckles, massive sections breaking apart. The ship is destroyed before it can ever be completed, and Mace escapes in the chaos, his mission complete. On Bestine, an Imperial governor named Taran Krall has been systematically enslaving the local population. Entire families are being taken, forced to work in mines or factories. Those who resist are executed publicly. The Empire claims it's for order and security. But Mace knows the truth. It's cruelty for cruelty's sake, control through fear. He enters the governor's mansion at night, his presence hidden by the Force. The security is impressive. Guard droids, stormtroopers, automated defenses. But Mace has fought through worse. He moves like a shadow, his passage leaving unconscious guards in his wake. He finds Governor Krall in his bedroom, surrounded by luxury stolen from the people he oppresses. Krall wakes to find Mace standing over him, lightsaber ignited. Please, the governor's voice shakes. I'll give you anything. Credits, ships, information. Just let me live. Mace looks at the man who's caused so much suffering. Part of him wants to strike immediately, to end this creature who's used his power to hurt the innocent. But he thinks of his conversation with Ahsoka, about becoming what he hunts, about maintaining his principles. How many people have you enslaved? Thousands. How many have died in your minds? Hundreds. How many families have you destroyed? Too many to count. Kroll's voice is barely a whisper now. Then you already know your answer. Justice demands balance. You've taken so much. Now you give back. Mace's blade comes down. Quick, clean, no torture, no cruelty, just an end. He leaves the governor's body where it falls. A message to the Empire. Your crimes will not go unpunished. As Mace escapes into the night, he feels the weight of what he's done. He's killed before, many times, but always in combat, in the heat of battle. This was different. This was an execution, necessary, justified, but still an execution. The line between justice and revenge grows thinner with each action on Nar Shaddaa. Mace finally gets the confrontation he's been both dreading and anticipating. He's sitting in a cantina in the Undercity, trying to gather intelligence on Imperial movements. The place is crowded, filled with smugglers, criminals, and people trying to disappear. That's when she walks in, Ahsoka Tano. She's changed since he last saw her. Her leku are longer, marked with new patterns. Her face is harder, aged by years of war and loss. But her eyes still hold that determined spark. She sits across from Mace without asking permission. Master Windu, I thought you were dead. The report said you fell on Coruscant. I've heard that a lot lately. Seems I'm difficult to kill. Ahsoka orders a drink, her gaze never leaving Mace. I've been tracking you. Following the trail of destruction, you've left across the Outer Rim. Listening posts destroyed. Ships sabotaged. Governors assassinated. You've been busy. Someone has to fight back. The Empire is consolidating power. If we don't resist now, there won't be a galaxy left to save. And that justifies murder? Mace's jaw tightens. Don't lecture me about morality. I've seen what the Empire does, what Vader does. Someone has to stop them. By becoming like them, by using anger and violence to achieve your goals. How is that different from what the Sith do? It's different because I'm fighting for justice, for the people the Empire crushes, for the Jedi who died. Everything I do is to stop tyranny. At what cost to yourself? Ahsoka leans forward, her voice low and intense. Master Windu, look at yourself. Really look. When was the last time you meditated? When did you last find peace? You're consumed by this hunt, by your need to strike back at the Empire. I can feel the darkness growing in you. Mace wants to argue, wants to deny it, but he can't, because Ahsoka is right. He's felt it himself, the darkness taking root. Every time he uses Varpad, every time he channels that rage, it becomes easier, more natural, more tempting. I know what I'm doing. I'm walking a dangerous path, but it's the only path available. If I don't fight, who will? Others. There are people organizing, building a resistance. You don't have to do this alone. And more importantly, you don't have to do it like this. The Jedi way isn't about revenge or anger. It's about peace, understanding, compassion. Even in the darkest times, we're supposed to be beacons of light, not shadows that kill in the night. You're talking about the old Jedi way, the way that failed. The Council sat in their temple, debated philosophy, and let the galaxy burn. I won't make that mistake. So you'll make new mistakes instead? Ahsoka's voice holds both sadness and frustration. Anakin made that same argument, that the old ways weren't working, that he needed to do things differently. Look where that led him. I'm nothing like Anakin. Aren't you? You're using the dark side. You're killing out of anger. You've abandoned the Jedi principles in favor of action. You've let your pain and your guilt drive you toward violence. Master Windu, you're walking the same path he did. And if you don't stop, you'll end up in the same place. The words hit harder than any lightsaber strike. Mace feels something crack inside him. A wall he's built around his heart. He's been telling himself he's different, that his actions are justified, that he's fighting for the right reasons. But what if he's wrong? What if he's been slowly falling this whole time? Tell me about him. Mace's voice is quiet now, stripped of its earlier defensiveness. About Anakin. What happened on Mustafar? Ahsoka takes a deep breath, pain flashing across her face. I wasn't there, but I've pieced together what happened from the recordings, from Obi-Wan's accounts. Anakin fell because he was afraid. Afraid of losing Padme. Afraid of not being strong enough. Palpatine exploited that fear, promised him power to save her, and Anakin believed him. He thought he was doing the right thing, thought he was saving the person he loved. But in doing so, he lost himself. She pauses, gathering her thoughts. The Anakin I knew, he was passionate, caring, always trying to help people. But he also struggled with attachment, with anger, with fear of loss. The Jedi taught him to suppress those feelings, to deny them, but they never helped him understand them, work through them. So when the moment came, when he had to choose, those suppressed emotions exploded. And Palpatine was there to direct that explosion. Does he know? Mace asks. About Padme? That she died? Yes. Vader knows. And it's killing him. Every day, he lives with the knowledge that he caused her death. That everything he did to save her only pushed her away. That's his prison. Not the suit. Not the dark side. The guilt and the pain of knowing he destroyed the one thing he loved most. And he can't escape it because admitting it would mean confronting the truth of what he's become. So he buries it, hides behind the mask, behind Vader's identity, tells himself Anakin is dead, so he doesn't have to face what Anakin did. Mace sits in silence, processing this. He's been hunting Vader for so long, seeing him as a monster to be destroyed. But Ahsoka's words paint a different picture. A broken man, trapped by his own choices, drowning in guilt and pain. It doesn't excuse what Vader's done, the Jedi he's killed, the innocents he's hurt. But it adds context, understanding. You felt him, didn't you? Ahsoka asks gently. When you fought on Kashyyyk, you connected through the Force and felt Anakin inside. Mace nods, Slowly, he's still there, buried deep, screaming in the darkness. I could feel his pain, his regret. For a moment, I thought I could reach him, thought I could pull him back. But the dark side is too strong. Vader won't let him surface. Maybe not now. But seeds of doubt take time to grow. You planted something in him, Master Windu. A crack in his armor. Given time, given the right circumstances, that crack might widen. Anakin might break free, or he might sink deeper. Either way, hunting him won't change anything. You can't kill him into redemption. You can't beat the darkness out of him. The only way he comes back is if he chooses to. And the best way to encourage that choice is to be an example. Show him that another path exists, that redemption is possible, that even when you've walked to the edge of darkness, you can step back. Mace looks at his hands. His right hand, scarred and weathered. His left, cybernetic and cold. Both have taken lives. Both have been instruments of violence. I've done terrible things. Killed people. Destroyed Imperial facilities. Hundreds have died by my hand. I can't undo that. Can't take it back. No, you can't. But you can choose differently going forward. You can be better. That's all any of us can do. Acknowledge our mistakes, learn from them, and try to do better next time. The conversation continues deep into the night. They talk about the war, about the Jedi who survived, about the nascent rebellion forming in the shadows. Ahsoka tells him about the network she's building, helping people escape the Empire. Mace talks about his battles, his victories and failures. And slowly, the wall around his heart begins to crumble. When they finally part ways, Ahsoka gives him one last piece of advice. Don't lose yourself in this fight, Master Windu. The galaxy needs Jedi. Real Jedi, not warriors consumed by anger. Be the light in the darkness, not just another shadow. Mace watches her disappear into the neon-lit streets of Nar Shaddaa. Her words echo in his mind. Be the light, not the shadow. It sounds so simple, so obvious. But for someone who's been living in shadows for so long, it's revolutionary. Over the following weeks, Mace changes his approach. He still fights the Empire, still strikes at their facilities, but now he's more careful about collateral damage, more mindful of who he kills and why. He starts helping people more directly, evacuating civilians before battles, protecting refugees, using his skills to build rather than just destroy. It's harder than pure violence, more complicated, but it feels right in a way his previous actions didn't. On Ryloth, he helps a village defend against slavers. Instead of just killing the slavers, he captures them, turns them over to local authorities. Justice, not vengeance. On Christophsis, he rescues a group of prisoners being transported to Imperial labor camps, leads them to safety in the Outer Rim, saves lives instead of taking them. On Dantooine, he finds a group of younglings hiding in ancient ruins. Instead of sending them away like before, he stays, teaches them, helps them understand the Force, control their abilities, gives them the training the destroyed Jedi Order can't. It's in these quiet moments, teaching children who will never know the Temple, that Mace truly confronts what he's become. He's not the Jedi Master he was. That man died on Coruscant, fell from Palpatine's window. But he's not the vengeful killer he was becoming either. He's something in between. Broken but healing. Scarred but growing. A Jedi who's seen darkness and chosen light. Not because it's easy, because it's right. And in that choice, he finds something he thought was lost forever. Peace. Not complete peace. Not the serenity he once knew, but a quieter kind of peace. The peace of someone who's made mistakes and is trying to do better. Who's faced their darkness and is fighting to overcome it every day. When the call finally comes from Bail Organa, when the rebellion formally reaches out, Mace is ready. Not as a weapon to be pointed at the Empire, but as a teacher, a symbol, a reminder that the Jedi aren't gone, that hope survives, that even in the darkest times, light can be found. He sets course for the rebel base, his path clear for the first time in months. The war isn't over. Vader is still out there, still hunting, still serving the dark side. They will meet again. Their conflict isn't resolved. But when that day comes, Mace won't be fighting out of rage or revenge. He'll be fighting for something better, for the possibility of redemption, for both of them. Mace Windu makes contact with the nascent Rebel Alliance. He meets with Bail Organa, with Mon Mothma, with other senators who've been quietly building opposition to the Empire. They're stunned to see him alive. Master Windu, we thought you were gone. All the Jedi were gone. I survived, and I'm here to help. The rebellion needs every advantage it can get. I may not be the Jedi I was, but I can still fight. We need more than fighters, Bail says carefully. We need symbols. You're one of the last Jedi Masters. Your presence alone would inspire thousands to join us. I'm not a symbol. I'm just a man trying to do what's right. That's exactly what makes you one, Mon Mothma says gently. You've been fighting the Empire alone for months. You've shown that resistance is possible, that the Jedi aren't all gone. People need that. They need hope. Mace considers this. He spent so long focused on Vader, on revenge disguised as justice, that he's forgotten about the larger picture. The Empire is vast, powerful, seemingly invincible, but it's also built on fear. And fear can be challenged by hope. If my presence helps the rebellion, then I'll stay. But I won't be a figurehead. I'll fight in the ways I'm needed. They can live with that. Mace begins training rebel operatives, teaching them how to fight, how to resist, how to survive. He shares everything he learned during the Clone Wars, all the tactics and strategies that made him one of the Republic's greatest generals. But he also teaches them something else, about the danger of becoming what you fight, about the importance of holding on to principles even in the darkest times, about choosing mercy when vengeance would be easier. Some learn the lessons, others don't. But slowly, the rebellion grows stronger, more organized, and across the galaxy, in his meditation chamber, Vader kneels in darkness. He tells himself he's preparing to hunt Windu again, to end the Jedi Master once and for all. But in truth, he's wrestling with the doubt that's been planted in his heart, with the memory of Anakin Skywalker, screaming somewhere deep inside, begging to be heard. The war between them is far from over. Mace and Vader will meet again. Their blades will clash, the Force will tremble. But the outcome is no longer certain, because both of them have changed. Mace has turned back from the darkness, choosing the harder path of mercy and hope. And Vader has begun to doubt, the first crack in the armor around his heart. It's a small crack, maybe too small to matter, but it's there. And as any builder knows, even the mightiest structure can collapse if the right crack is widened. The galaxy is dark. The Empire is strong. But as long as one Jedi fights, as long as one light shines in the darkness, hope survives. And where there's hope, anything is possible. Balance, redemption, a better future. The war continues. But now, for the first time since the Empire rose, the outcome isn't predetermined. The dark side is strong, but so is the light. And in the end, it's not power that determines victory. It's choice. Mace chose mercy. Vader will have to choose too. When that moment comes, when Vader stands at the crossroads between darkness and light, maybe Mace's example will matter. Maybe Anakin Skywalker will finally break free. Or maybe the darkness will win. Either way, Mace Windu will be there, fighting, hoping, believing that even the most fallen can be redeemed. That's our theory. The Star Wars universe is a galaxy filled with exciting stories and possibilities, and we love exploring them. If you want to accompany us on this journey to a galaxy far, far away, then please like, share, and subscribe to our channel.